Here. In today's die cutting tips and tricks tutorial, you're going to learn how to create cards using the Here For You dies. We're actually going to be using parts of the entire All Together collection, but I especially want to focus on cards which highlight these dies because these dies are amazing. I love how there's like an open spot between and these words and how big they are. I love how this die will cut out the stamped image. Okay, I'm going to show you how to get that to work well. We might even I think I'll do a little coloring. But last night when I showed the starter kit special video, and shout out to Patricia, my newest Papered Chef team member, who joined after that video, after I showed that video. Such a cool thing because you can get all of the things I'm showing you and much more for $99 in free shipping. So if you missed that video, go ahead and check that out. But while I was showing it and afterwards, people asked, can I show how to make these cards? Okay, with the New Horizons. Okay, so that's what I'm going to kind of focus on. And of course, no two cards are ever going to be alike. So just to keep that in mind, I showed these in my thumbnail preview, but I grabbed a few sheets of paper and figured we'll kind of go from there. So let's roll up our sleeves. Literally, I'm rolling up my sleeves. What is the All Together collection? And please say hello as you come in. And some of you have been waiting because you're my VIPs and you got notified early. So some of you have been waiting. I apologize for how long you've been waiting because I had to get my act together. Get my machine all set up. Hi, Diana from Kentucky and Donna from Ohio. So what I'm doing is there's a Here Together stamp set. We're going to stamp first. We're going to stamp this one and this one first. On the basic white cardstock. Okay, that's what we're going to do first. And then there are these dies. It's called the Here For You dies. That's what we're going to play with. We're going to do the You Matter. We're going to do them all. I have some foam stuck in here because I was doing some foam. So we have You Matter, Here For You. We're going to cut out some extra hearts, and we're going to cut out these two stamped images. So there's 5 dies in there. Part of the All Together collection is the set of Natural Tones blends. So later in this tutorial, I'm going to show you 21 projects in addition to the ones we make, which I use these Natural Tones blends to color projects with. Okay, so we're going to use all 5 dies. We'll use a little bit of the Natural Tone blends to color the hands, and we're going to use the Designer Series paper. Okay, so I have cleared my table just to show you this. And then I'm going to put the die cutting machine up here. But I wanted to just show you this while I have it stacked before I start chopping it apart. There you get 48 sheets in the pack. They're black and white, so you can do a lot of sponge coloring and things like that. And these are double-sided designs, 6x6. So lots and lots of different patterns. Okay, so here are All Together. That is All Together collection. So Betty is saying she just got this bundle yesterday. That is like great timing, Betty. Perfect timing. Okay, let's make some room. Make some room. So what I'm doing is silicone mats here. Put a couple of those down when you stamp. Put some basic white cardstock down. Now, I think that you should never color before you die cut. That's my personal opinion. Because you could easily slip or rip your paper during the die cutting process. So I say always, 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 and I even talk about this with the ScanNCut. Always do your stamping, right? And then do your coloring later. Because you might want to color different things, for different reasons depending on, okay, let's see where we can put that. And I need a bigger stamping block, huh? You're going to have different colors that you want to color things. Sorry, I had to reach across a bigger stamping block. I need a bigger stamping block. You're going to need stamping block E. Okay, so you're not sure what colors you're going to color things. You might mess up the die cutting process, so you don't color until later. Okay, when you have a stamp that's bigger than your ink pad, then you want to stamp. You want to turn your stamp over. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and use the only scrap paper I have, which is those starter kit specials I was talking about yesterday. If you missed that, go ahead and check that out. I'm going to use that as my scrap paper because I didn't bring one of the stamping, because I'm doing so much die cutting and so much moving around. I didn't get one of my normal placemats that I use when I'm stamping. All right, so always stamp onto a piece of scrap paper first before you stamp onto your basic white cardstock. Then you just get better results. Because you always have to sort of condition your stamp anyway when you first start stamping. Ah, nice, okay. I'm going to do the other one down this way. Because the ink has to kind of get in there and absorb, get into the nooks and crannies, right? Like Thomas's English muffins, like your butter has to get into the nooks and crannies. Okay, those two came out pretty good. I'm happy with those. Let's put this lid on for a moment. We'll do different stamp in a moment. And let me keep saying hi because I see a lot of you have come in. So we said, Darlene, we said hello to. Thank you, Diane. Hello, Melissa from Texas. And Judy, good morning. All right. Now what we're going to do is this. We're going to put this. We'll just go ahead and do this. I just stamped 2 for good measure, right? Not 2. We don't actually need 2. We just need 1. But we're going to go like this. And you're going to lay that die over the top of your stamped image. Now, you're going to need to hold that in place when you run it through the die cutting machine. So you have a few options. I'm kind of liking the sticky note option the best because it seems to do the least amount of damage. Like sometimes when you use washi tape, this is an option. You can use washi tape or painter's tape, which is fine as long as you put on the outside. So if you're going to use washi tape, right, that's fine. Sort of put that on there, like maybe, you know, back there. But it still slips a little, right? If you get any tape on the inside of this, it could rip your little stamped image. See how it slips a little and then it gets a little crooked? I found like the simplest thing is a sticky note. So it's even better than washi tape or painter's tape. A little sticky note. So I'm going to get the die down here the way I want it. And you can use a combination of a sticky note and washi tape. But this just seemed to work better. Now we're going to take our die cutting machine. You're going to use a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I have a little placemat here to protect my table because I keep scratching it. I'm kind of getting hubby mad at me when I keep scratching the table. All right, so this is the machine, which the handle just flew off. That's not cool. In the middle of my video, I have to tighten that handle. I think my little screw just came out, but we're still going to work with it. We are going to make this happen. Now, don't think your machines are going to fall apart when you get them. I use all my machines, my fleet of ScanNCuts, my die cutting machines, like way more than your average Joe. All right, I actually have a Joe on my team. Right, Joe? Average Joe. I'm using this more than you. I'm just kidding. All right, I don't know how much Joe die cuts, but he probably die cuts a lot more than me. But I use the ScanNCut and die cutting. All right, so you see what I'm doing. I'm going to use a sandwich here of plate number 1, right? That's your base platform. I'm going to use plate number 2, which is the thin die adapter. This is your platform number 2. You always need that when you have thin dies. 1 plate number 3, and then the sandwich. Then what we're die cutting, right? The thing that we're die cutting, put that down, all secured in place, and then we're going to do another plate number 3 on top of that. Now the plate, and usually you have like a more scratched plate number 3 is below, right? A less scratched one is on top, but you know, in my case, I've been using them so much they're all really scratched. Okay, go through. If you want to go back through again, see how it came out the other side? There it is. I'm going to go backwards, go back through. You don't have to. This one was probably die cut fine the first time. Okay, I like to test it before I take it out. I like to turn it over and make sure. See, I can see it cut all the way through. And so I have a good cut so then I can like take it all apart. And I don't know what I'm going to do with these yet, but I just think this is going to make a cool shape for something. I save my inner shapes. I don't know. It's the heart, but I save it. Now, it was very easy for that to slip. It did pretty good, right? It did a nice job. Now, if you were using the ScanNCut, you would have had to enclose any open gaps. But when I have dies, I do not use the ScanNCut. I use the dies. But you would have had to enclose any gaps to try to cut something like that. So whenever I have dies, I use dies. Plus, there's a lot of things you can do that you can't do with a machine. Like, I'm going to go ahead and do another one of these while I'm here. But there's a lot of things you can't do with like a machine, like a ScanNCut, like the inner letters. Well, you probably could. Someone's going to say, oh, mine will do a really good job with the inner letters. But you'll see that the things I'm showing you right now, and especially when we work with some adhesive sheets, they're just delicate, these words. And it's hard to get the inner parts like this to cut out as nicely with a machine as it is when you have metal dies. So I think metal dies are better for that reason. When it comes to stamped images, however, stamped images, the ScanNCut does just as well of a job. But our dies do a lot more. Like intricate things are better with metal dies. I'm going to go ahead and run that one through. So you see how fast it is. It doesn't do all your stamping, then do all your die cutting. All right, so now that one might have got a little bit crooked, but that's what I was saying. See how it got a little bit crooked? Which, okay, it's fine. But I like it. It still came out good. But I'm just saying, like, you wouldn't want to have colored it and then slip and then be like, oops. All right, so now let's do this. Let's move this machine off to the side for a moment. We're not using the adhesive sheets yet. We're just going to do a little bit more stamping. We're going to do the little pinky swear. Okay, sometimes the plates can leave little stains on your paper. So the pinky swear, let's show you how to mount a stamp, okay? So you have this. I haven't used it yet. That's why I wanted to use it for this video. I used all the most of the other stamps. We're going to take this and we're going to peel this off so you got the sticky side. These are called cling stamps. So the sticky side is up. Okay, you're going to take this stamp and see that's the rubber side. And you're going to peel this so that this side that's not sticky, right? That's going to be facing there. So we're going to go like this. And we're going to put that, we're going to touch this to, I mean, you could see the outline. See, there's the outline. I'm going to just touch this here. Why? Because this doesn't stick. Well, it will stick enough to stick to a stamping block. It'll stick. And in the past, before we had cling material, I used to just stick these to the stamping block like that. However, this sticker is great. So I'm going to use the cling adhesive. So I'm going like that. Okay. And then you're going to peel it off and you have a beautiful mounted stamp. Okay? So beautifully mounted stamp. You're going to take your other stamp off of your stamping block and you're going to touch it down on there. And of course, this one has never been used. So again, you need to condition it a bit by stamping onto your scrap paper. That wasn't too bad for the first stamp. First stamp right out of the package, right? I say because a little bit got in the middle there. Make sure you don't wobble it. Okay, that's good. I'm getting a crisp image. Crispy, it's crisp image. I'm happy with that. So now I'm going to go ahead and do it on my paper here. So I'm going to stamp it onto my paper. The basic white has really good ink absorption. And of course I'm using my silicone mat so it doesn't get crooked. Now while we're here, let me just grab another piece, right? Because in case we mess that one up, because I want to do some coloring, and go ahead and do another stamped image. And I can actually, because I can fit one right here. Because I can fit one. These are the only things we're doing in white, by the way. The rest we're doing in designer series paper. So the basic white, I can use up all that paper. Let's find the lid. Now, I don't need this anymore, so I'm putting this one on here. I'm going to be washing it. You just wash them with water. We have Stampin' Scrub, lots of cleaning agents. Okay, now let me just go ahead and move this down so I can see your comments. I see you're asking questions. All right, so I would have to move it down because otherwise I would have had to get on a stool to see your comments, literally. All right. So we said hi to Melissa from Texas, and we said hi to Judy. Now, Lisa from Alabama. Okay, Betty is asking. Yeah, you can condition with Versamark, which is like invisible ink. I call that the invisible ink. Yes, you can condition with Versamark, but you still got to fill in those nooks and crannies. So you still want it, even with Versamark, even when I use Versamark, I still then use a piece of paper. Because all you're trying to do is get like the little gaps to fill in. All right, so we're putting this back down. I love Versamark and embossing. In fact, I have an embossing series. We'll do something with some heat embossing soon on my channel. Oops, we need the plate number 1. We need the plate number 2. We need a plate number 3. We need our little pinky swear. And it already got rubbed a little bit. I rubbed it. Here, I think this one might be the best one. Okay. We need our die. I used to pinky swear with my friends. Don't tell that boy I like him. Okay, I won't. Pinky swear, you won't, right? So that's kind of funny. I think I want to send this to one of my childhood friends where, we used to pinky swear. I don't really do this anymore, but I just think it's cute, Everybody kind of knows what it means, even if you don't, like, practice the pinky swear. It might be a kid thing, but it's still kind of cute. Yeah, I've had plates warp. You can see the plates warping. Not big. When you use this platform, they warp less, but look, I'll show you here. Look at this. Well, no, you can't really see it. It's barely warped. Now, I have a little bit of a problem with plate warping. Now, the way you can avoid the plate warping is not to have a lot of friction. So don't go crazy with your, like, die cut and then let it cool down. And I say cool down, you're like, what do you mean cool down? There's no heat here. Yes, there's a metal bar in there, and it's really tight, right, against the plastic plates. Mine is kind of loose because I've used it a lot. You don't hear as much cracking. But the tighter it is, the more you got to cool it down a little bit so there's less friction. And the less friction will be, you get less warping on your plates. So the tighter it is. I hope that washi tape didn't rip that. Okay, I'm happy with that one. So I have enough now to show you. So I have that one. So we're good for that. Let me do a little bit of coloring and we'll get back to the rest of the die cutting. I'm going to do some hearts as well. We'll use adhesive sheets in a little bit. So yeah, you have some warping going on when you have too much friction. See, look at this one. It's warped a little. I've tried all those things. See, it's a little bit warped. I've tried all those things where people talk about, oh, put it in the oven, and all this. No, none of that stuff worked. All it did was ended up like turning them completely cloudy. And then it worked them even worse. I've never had good luck trying to get. So I'm going to try to use like these middle colors here. We'll use a 600 and here. Trying to use like a contrast here. These two will contrast nice. A 600 and an 800. So you have the lights are 900 and 1000, and the 100 and 200 are the darks. Okay. I just labeled this with my brother label maker. I think the other colors, more middle of the road colors, work really well for giving good contrast and these aren't like meant to be necessarily blended. You don't have to, you can blend them, and I'll show you examples of how I blended them. But really, just one color, one skin tone. These are called natural tones, right? So one per hand works fine. Now I'm using Memento Black ink. Memento Black ink is a hybrid ink, and these markers are alcohol-based markers. So you still don't want to get too close to the line before it's really dry, but it doesn't run. That's why I really like alcohol-based markers, and how they interact with the Memento. They don't run and rub together. Now you won't want to use, now Stays On, that's a different kind of ink we have. That is better for watercoloring, and you could use water-based inks with the Stays On, but this one, I'm using alcohol-based ink. Okay, so that's one skin tone, and you saw that was here. Put that there again. That was 800. And now I'm going to use the 600 as the opposite skin tone, and I'm going to use the brush side. Okay, so the brush side here. And I would do all my coloring at once, of course. I would do my coloring. I would do my my die cutting all at once, do a bunch of die cutting. Well, first do all your stamping, right? Then do all your die cutting. And then do all your coloring. And do the coloring while you're watching TV. Don't like stand up over a table and try to color like I am right now. Here, we can actually go down to that part. Actually, I'm going to do that to the other one too. Go all the way to the end. I'm not doing the technique of blending because I'm just coloring these like a solid color, but I would normally, blend a darker color on the outside, a lighter color on the inside. I'm just going to go ahead and color the cuff. All right, so for this, so we did that one, and then for this one, let's see. So we got the two colors going on, and for this one, I could do like the same color, for both hands. If you wanted to make it like your hands, I don't know which one represents me. I'm like I don't know. I think I'm a middle of the road. I have a good tan here, so 500. I don't know. I would probably use the same color next time, but I've used different colors. So anyway, you get the idea, and then I want to show you just a little. You could put like a little nail polish on it. with a marker. No, I had a red marker. It's probably all the way over there. But you could just take like one of your, this is a black marker, but obviously we're not going to use the black marker for the nail polish, but you could take like the thin end of your marker, like of a red marker or a pink marker, or the brush end, and these are just regular Stampin' markers made of what just our ink is made. And then you could just color in the nails with that. All right, so then now I want to go into these other dies. So we've shown you how to use, we don't even need to color that one because, let's see. For that one, I've already done this card. Okay, so we don't need to color that one because you get the idea. We'll do a different card with this one. We'll make a whole card. Now I want to show you how to die cut these and show you some tips and tricks for die cutting. Things with intricacy like that. So let's do this. Let's move some of the trash over. Put the machine back. Okay, so you have a couple kinds of adhesive sheets that Stampin' Up! Sells, and I want to go over both of those kinds of adhesive sheets and kind of show you what they're for. So we have, this one is pretty awesome, and these are anytime you have intricate dies. Now for these I don't need it. There's no reason to use an adhesive sheet because I can just plop a couple dimensionals on the back of this. We're good to go for a card. It'd be a waste of an adhesive sheet to make this into a sticker. But it's not a waste when you have these intricate dies and pieces like that. So this adhesive sheet pack comes 12 in a pack, and they're 12 by 6, so you get loads of adhesive. And this is the way they work. Okay, let's take a piece of, this will be good to cut out in a black paper. So let's say a piece of, I found that these two are really good for cutting out your intricate dies like this. So let's just this piece here. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to go like this. I'm just going to go, okay, you matter. Because we don't want to waste your whole sheet if you don't need it, right? Now get some scissors and go like this and cut a piece of adhesive sheet. Okay? Like, don't waste a lot of adhesive sheet. Just get the piece you need. All right. Now, what is an adhesive sheet? It's double-sided. Okay? It's a sticker on both sides. It sticks on this side and sticks on this side. So there's a coating on this side and a coating on this side. I'm going to peel this off. And when you do that, make sure, let's see, got to decide which side is your sticker. This side looks like the sticker. Here, got to keep that sticker down there. Let me just try this. Let me try it, because you want to keep the sticker onto the one side of it. Oh, it's coming apart. Coming apart at the seams. There we go. That's fine. Okay, so I'm going to take this sticker sheet, and I'm going to go ahead and put it on there. You'll see what I'm doing in a minute. All right. It's coming apart a little bit. I shouldn't have done that, but I'm just going to go with it and make that part be the sticky part. So it's still double-sided. I'm going to go like that. So there's my sticker sheet. So now I have a sticker, so I can peel the back of this off later. We're going to take the U-Matter, and we're going to die cut it out and make a sticker out of it. Okay? So we got the same platform going on, right? 1, 2, 3, right? Sticker side, or sticker paper, right? Let's make sure there's no stuff stuck in my little holes there. Go like that, and a piece of whatever, washi tape or what have you, sticky note. I mean, really, this time it doesn't really matter, because it don't matter if it cuts like that. I just want to make sure it doesn't fall off of the piece where the sticker is, really. But it doesn't matter, because this is like a little pattern on your paper. Okay, let's go ahead and put the top plate on there, crank it through, and see what the sticker looks like. All right, crank that through. Okay, and before you take it all apart, just kind of test it. So go like this, flip it around. I just flipped the whole sandwich over. All right, good. It went all the way through. Perfect. So I have myself a nice little sticker. So you can pull this off. Now, here's the little, so you could use like what's called a die brush and everything like that. Let's move this out of the way for a moment. Let's slap this on one of these here. I'm just trying to find a good background to put this on. I think this will be good. Something white with contrast. Anyway, you could get like a die brush and get all the little nooks and crannies out. However, I find it easier to use what's called the take your pick tool to get all these little pieces out. And sometimes just by taking the sticker off, it'll get the little pieces off. So you'll see what I mean. Sometimes just by pulling the sticker out of its little container. But I find it's easier, when I say container, I find it's easier to get these little nooks and crannies out while the die is still inside the metal piece. All right. So you can leave these on there, make yourself a bunch of stickers, and deal with them later. Like you can put them on cards later. But I find it's just easier to just peel them off and slap them on something right now. Then I have it made. Okay, so good. The rest should just come off by itself in a moment. You'll see. When I start peeling the sticker away, the rest is just going to come off. So the magic of a sticker sheet. So let's push this out. Use those little holes to get your die out. I'm going to go ahead and pull the whole die out. So now, okay, we have You Matter. Pretty cool, right? But it's a sticker. But there's still little bits in the middle. But you'll see, once I pull this adhesive sheet off, using my little Take Your Pick tool, I know it's kind of probably hard for you to see and hard for me to see because I'm just going to dig into a part that's like a thick area here so I can actually see because it's kind of hard for me to reach. There we go. All I needed is a tiny bit. I just needed a tiny bit to come off. The rest I'm going to peel off with my hands. But it was hard for me to get right there and see it, especially I'm kind of looking through the camera right now. So it's hard for me to aim that precisely. Okay, look at that. That's the sticker sheet. Throw all that away. And all the little middle parts should have come out, but I double check it. If the middle, see, all those extra middle parts came out. Pretty cool, right? And if you forget to get them out, don't worry about it. You can get them out with the Take Your Pick tool later. Okay, let's go ahead and put this on a card. Oh, I know what I was gonna do. I have a plan. I actually have a plan. And the plan was to use some of this, this one. My plan was, because this is what a lot of you asked me about yesterday. All right, you guys asked about, can we make some New Horizons card? This is called the New Horizons Designer Series paper. This stuff is the bee's knees. So we're going to do this one for the Pinky Swear card. We're going to do that kind of card. So we'll use that piece. This is New Horizons. We're going to do the You Matter. I thought this one was cool because it looks like a storm. And you can cut it all out. So let's just slap that on there. Over here. We'll cut it out to the size we need it. We have a beautiful sticker. Oops, get that. It was beautiful until I curled it up. No, I'm just kidding. If you have to, there we go. Uncurl it and give it a good rub. I think it's better to turn it upside down when you rub it. All right, so I'm going to turn it upside down, and I'm going to do this to get it on there because there was a piece. But if you have to use glue, you can use glue. Okay, no oozy glue. None of this craziness if you ever tried to glue a die cut. But if you do want to glue a die cut, the way I suggest is like get a dedicated, I'm going to grab this. Okay, I'm just grabbing a blending brush. I'm not going to use this right now. This one has ink on it. But if you were going to glue a piece of your die cut, right? I would like dedicate one of these to glue and like turn it over and like turn over your little pieces and, well, that would be the other side of it. Turn it over, put glue on it. Right? Don't try to put glue on it with the glue bottle because it'll be all over the place. All right, so we're going to make that into a card. Now, this is the New Horizons paper, and what is the nice thing about the New Horizons paper is it has all this like in colors all mixed into it, right? There's all these pinks and purples. So let's cut the piece we need for the card with the trimmer, and then we'll have some extra little pink parts to use for our little hearts, for our other cards. And then we can talk about the other kind of adhesive. I told you, I gave you a little teaser about the other kind of adhesive. So, You Matter to Me. So let's take a piece of, this is called the In Good Taste Designer Series paper. It's just fantastic. It's a double pack. It comes 24 sheets in a pack. Let's do this one as the typical card base where you have, your 5 1/4, right? 5 1/4 by 4. That's your typical card or card layer, first card layer. I could write it down, but there's no room to write stuff. Okay, so we have that. That's going to be your background layer. Now we're going to cut this one a 1/2 inch shorter, but we need some of this green, right? We need some of the green, so let's trim off a little bit of the green. I'm going to go like that. All right, so since it was 4 inches wide, I'm going to go with 3 inches. 3.5, sorry. The other one, since this one was 4 inches wide, I'm going to make this one 3.5. Okay, let's make sure because I didn't write it down earlier. Yep, 3.5. Okay, good. And since this one was 5.25 tall, we're going to go 1/2 inch, so 4.75. Now we can make pink little hearts out of these extra pieces of the New Horizons Designer Series paper. So you're going to adhere those layers together. And then we're going to add our things. Okay. That doesn't look bad compared to mine. Oh, you're talking about the plates warping? Yeah. My plates don't warp that bad because I use it so much that I've loosened them up. So they really don't warp that bad. Okay, so anyway, I can make use this for the pink too. See, I can use that side. And I say pink, it's like polished pink is the color. What's really great about the New Horizons suite of products, number one, our special paper pumpkin birthday, or what is it called? Yeah, anniversary edition is coming out in March, where you get the extra stamp set, and it's going to coordinate with the New Horizons. But one thing I love about this New Horizons suite and this Designer Series paper is it has like all the ink colors in it. So that really is exciting to me. It has the ink colors for your, fresh freesia, polished pink, and all those colors. So I love that. Soft succulent, evening evergreen. It has a bunch of other colors too, and I'll show you some of those when we slap this on a card base. I like to make my card fronts and sort of slap this on a card base later. But I think I need to, because it's going to be a little bumpy because of all my dimensionals, I think I might slap it on a card base right now. I guess I could show you my card bases. What I did ahead of time, just so you wouldn't have to wait for me to do so much cutting, is I just grabbed a few things that would coordinate with this New Horizons Designer Series paper. So I grabbed a pale papaya. See how that coordinates? I grabbed a bumblebee. Bumblebee looks pretty good. There's fresh freesia. Ooh, I'm liking that one because look at that. It pulls in that color. Okay, I'm liking that. That's my favorite so far. Okay, old olive. Nope, no for the old olive. And then this was soft succulent. Yes for the soft succulent, except that I've already put the piece of paper on there. So let's go with the fresh freesia. Let's see how this card opens. Okay, it opens vertically. Okay, perfect. So what you do is you just if you make yourself a lot of card bases, I don't know, is that a hitchhiker? Yeah. If you make yourself a lot of card bases, you're ready, and you just look on the back of your packs of Designer Series paper, it'll tell you your coordinating colors, and you're just ready to go. You just grab card bases that match. I don't have to sit and waste my time making card bases. Oops. Okay, there's the go. And then I put a few little baby dimensionals. These are called mini Stampin' dimensionals to puff up this little pinky square. And then we're going to do the I promise part. We have an instant card. Look at that. Easy. All thanks to die cutting. So I'm thinking, I haven't used that stamp about the I promise yet. Where is my stamp set? I have the stamps. I have the stamp sets, the ones I used, but I'm trying to find the other part. Here we go. Here we go. This part says, let's see what it says. I'm going to see if I want to use that or the one. All right. We'll get through this together. I promise. Okay. I think I promise because of the pinky, right? So I'm going to peel that off like that, like so. And we're going to slap the sticker on there. You guys must wonder how I lose things like that quickly. All right, we're not putting a sticker on it because we can't find the stickers. But the stickers are around somewhere. But that's okay, I'll show you what to do instead. You can just do that, right? Without the sticker. But you do need to find your stickers because it helps you center things. I mean, it should be around here somewhere because I used them today. All right, we're going to tap, tap, tap. We're going to just use a piece of, this is my scrap paper. Okay, Oh, that one came out really nice the first time around. Wow, look how sharp that stamp is right out of the container. Ooh la la. It might be because my stamp has a lot of ink on it. So now I want to grab my bucket of crafty goodness and just see which will fit on there. So you do a little test and you see what'll fit on there. There you go. This one. First try. Let's try it. These are from the Messages dies. I like the little stitching. Ooh la la. That came out nice. But it could even be nicer Let's do that. Ooh. I'm getting there. And then I could try like different pieces I have, like this one. That one might work a little better. If you hold it there, ooh, that's too dark. Flip it over. I'm going to go with the first one. The first one came out the best. Yeah, that one. This. We'll see. We'll see. I got to see how it looks on the card. So do a bunch of stamping. Have these die cuts already cut out. Get a little tray from the Dollar Tree. Cut out bunches and bunches of things so you're ready to just like put your sentiments on them when you need them. That's how I make cards so quickly. All right, then you're going to go like this and see which one kind of looks better. You're going for contrast there. I'm kind of liking the small one because I don't want to like cover up a lot of the greenery. And when I say the greenery, that's the garden green color. Okay, we're going to put a couple little dimensionals on there. Now if you want, since we have our little sponge out, you can just whip open I'm just whipping that open here. That is the So Saffron, only because that's the color I have right there. So Saffron's sort of like a neutral color anyway. I'm just going to go like that and see if I can't ink up the edge a little bit. Oh, yeah. Even though it's not Bumblebee. Typically, I would probably use Bumblebee because it would coordinate better. But So Saffron is so light that it won't really affect anything. It won't take away that this is not Bumblebee. Bumblebee is the yellow that actually is the part of that coordinating color. But So Saffron's more of a pastel, or what's it called, a subtle. Okay, this one lost its little stickiness. Okay, so that card is done. Now I'm going to show you about the puffy. I told you I'd show you about the other kind of adhesive sheet while we're on our tips and tricks video because we've kind of gone full circle. We haven't done the last die yet, and we haven't done the heart. So there's a couple of little things to do, and while we're here, while we got the So Saffron out, right? You just ink the edges of things, and you have more dimension. And if you make one side kind of too dark, it's all good. You flip it around and you make the other side dark too. The reason I like to use these little stamping blocks for my ink is just to know how much ink I'm putting on my blending brush. I find that when I dip straight in from my blending brush into like the ink, I get too much ink on them. All right, so now let's do this. Let's take the last kind of adhesive sheet. These are the other kind. I talked about the ones that were, I said these come in a pack of 12. They're 12 inches by 6 inches, and these are thin little sticker sheets. This is another kind of sticker sheet we have. These are called foam adhesive sheets. These are just brilliant. Wait till you see these. So you're going to take your foam adhesive sheets. These are really thick. These are like, it's like having a whole sheet of dimensionals all at once. Okay, check this out. So you're going to take, we've already done this one. I mean, we've already done You Matter. So let's do Here for You. Let's take a piece of Designer Series paper, black and white. Let's see. You want to take a piece that's really black, for contrast. These are not black enough. This one's good, but it's not wide enough. So we're just looking for a piece. Or you know what? We could even use here. I can even use cardstock. Let's use a piece of cardstock. How about that? We'll just go ahead and use a piece of Misty Moonlight. That'll work. All right, so we're going to use a piece of Misty Moonlight and a piece of the foam adhesive sheet, and we're just going to cut those the same size. Okay? That's what you're going to do. Chop, chop, chop. Now you're going to take your foam, you're going to peel off the foam, and you're going to attach your piece of cardstock or Designer Series paper to it, right? And you're like, how in the world is this thick thing ever going to fit through the machine? I don't know. It's magic. I can't believe it either. I didn't even have to change the sandwich, and it fit through the machine. So let's make a little room. And when I say I didn't have to change my sandwich, I mean I still got to use your plate 1, plate 2, plate 3, and you kind of, to keep your plates from warping, by the way, turn them around at different, turn them around so they're not always going through the same way. Turn them around, flip them over sometimes, right? That keeps them from warping. Don't always put them in the same direction. Okay, and then do that. and your little piece of, you know, painter's tape or what have you. Or you might be using like a sticky note, okay? And we're going to put the top layer on there. Okay, let's grab the top layer. Another plate 3. Now I would normally put down, I would go find, you know, I've already lost the painter's tape, the sticky notes, and the washi tape. Like it's all gone. Like the whole table's a mess. So who knows where it's at. But hopefully this all stays centered. You would put something in there. Hello, JL from Ohio, and Gloria. Okay, did I say hi to Lisa already? Okay, hope as you guys come in, say hello. Thank you. Okay, now look, I didn't have to change, but look, it's going through the same sandwich, but I'm gonna use more strength. See, I'm using my arm here on top, and I'm gonna have to, like that. So it is a big, thick piece of foam, and for good measure, I'm gonna go backwards again through, because this really has to get through all those layers of foam. It's a really thick sandwich here. Okay, I'm gonna back and forth, maybe 2 times. Then it'll come out better. All right, here for you. Let's put that over here. Let's test it. Oh, yes. Ooh la la. Okay? Ooh la la. It's really stuck on the... I'm stuck on you. All right, so there we go. We got a nice, really cool, thick sticker. Now, why don't you just do a couple little hearts while I'm here, just at least 1 heart for that 1 promise card. Because I told you we're going to use all 5 dies, and we've only used 4 of our 5 dies. So hopefully we can find the heart. Okay, so we've used the You Matter. We've used Here for You, which we're about to do. We've used the Pinky Swear. All right, well, we do, we don't. There it is. Cool. New Horizons. And for that one, just plunk it down and use it. Now you can do 2 at once. I mean, you could do 2 layers at once if you want. But we're just going to make 1 heart. Just for good measure. So let's just go ahead and do that. Then we will have used all 5 dies. And then I can get this machine off the table because I have lots of projects to show you. All right, so good. There it is. And look, it even has a little bit of a 3D edge going on. Isn't that cool? Without even needing an embossing mat. An embossing mat kind of looks like one of my silicone mats. It's like a rubber mat. All righty. We are styling. We got a card. Oh, is that the one? Nope. Oh my gosh, it looks so much like that one. I thought that was the one that we were making. We made one with the Pinky Swear. Here it is. And I think this one might need a heart. Oops. That heart doesn't contrast. We'll use the heart on the other one, on the one we make with the other piece. Okay, so we'll do a piece where we use the heart. Let's take this. Now, Misty Moonlight is one of the coordinating colors of this. I did take out Misty Moonlight because it was one of the coordinating colors of the New Horizons Designer Series paper. So I pulled that color out. Now this one's a little bit trickier because it's all stuck in there. And I'm going to try to pull this out. I might have to use my take your pick tool. But actually I already have one of these for you already cut out already with the foam. So if I want, I can show, it'd be a lot quicker because you do have to sort of, you know, finagle this to get it out. And you're going to have this really cool 3D Here for You sticker. It's really cool. But I already have one that I did earlier. Here it is. Check that out. Okay? So I've already mounted this one. And it's already mounted on foam. So this is already ready for a card. Okay, pretty cool. Now instead of me wiggling and jiggling, but you get the idea. It's just if you're using a piece of the foam adhesive. Okay, that's another tip and trick for you. So for this one, let's see what we can do for this. We have, let's see. You can kind of just see my thought process here. I have no idea like what I'm going to do with this card yet. So you just kind of look and you go, okay, so here's some soft succulent. And here's some, you know, this black and white paper. But I would probably say instead of doing it in color and with the black and white, I think I just grab some other card bases and see where I can go with it. So black and white's going to go with anything, right? we have black and white papers. So I'm thinking no, not for that one. For that one, I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe something like this or like this, but put it on, oh no, this one right here. This one, because look at that contrast. Funkadelic for sure. Okay, we're going to use this piece of paper. But instead of using one of the in colors, oh, look at that. This is going to work. Like, oh, hot pink. It's not hot pink. It's called like melon mambo. Maybe even gorgeous grape would work. What do you guys think? Gorgeous grape or melon mambo? Ooh. Ooh. What do you think? Gorgeous grape or melon mambo? That's the card I'm making. So you just have, if you have a bunch of card bases made, and the way I make my card bases is I just use these empty cases from the dies. I put the dies on magnetic sheets, and then I have these empty die cases, and that's where I put all my card bases, and I just make like bags of them with other colors. Melon, grape. Ah, Judy voted first. Judy gets the vote. Okay, so because you voted first. Snooze, you lose. No, I'm just kidding. But you did say it first, so we're going to just put that together. So I just show you how I would do that. Oh, and plus we have a little pink heart that, even though it's a different kind of pink, it will work. So let's see how my card goes. My card goes like this. It doesn't really matter because the card, we're going to make the card open to the right. Okay, so we're going to do 5 1/4. So let's start chopping off the sides so it's still centered, right? So we're going to go, oh no. I'm just making sure that these two are the same size here. We got to make them 5 1/4. But we still need this to be centered. You see, sometimes that's why I put the sticker, but then you have to center things. All right. 5 1/4 by 4, right? That was the measurements that we used for all our cards. Or not all the cards, but that's like the main measurement. It's called an A2 card. 5 1/4 by 4. And we just make that, stick that on there with some rolling adhesive. Seal plus. See, when I say rolling adhesive, I just mean Seal Plus, right? That's what I'm talking about. Seal Plus. Oops, this Seal Plus is so plus. It's so strong that it kind of rips the paper sometimes. It rips my little designer series paper. This is a thicker designer series paper than normal, so we can get in there, hopefully. Not too shabby. Okay, and we're going to put that on here. I'm just going to center it, sort of center it. I think it looks good centered, but little stripes go different ways. Cool. I might do a little pop of color there. I think I need a little pop of color right above it with a ribbon or something. We'll see. Or, oh, this might work. Not a color, a pop of something. Here, we can color it. Yes, we can. All right, so let's do this. Let's try. When you have something this small, okay, when you have something this small, you want to do like this. Take your little rolling adhesive, right, and just kind of, or a piece of tape. Here, we'll use a piece of tape. And what you want to do is, just so you can cut this without it getting all wonky, because all I want is the dot. All I wanted the dots, right? I don't want this other piece, so I want to cut the dots off, and I'm just going to go like this, just so it stays straight in my trimmer. Hopefully that'll work. Oh yes. Okay, see, that's how you can get it to go without getting wonky. And then what you're going to do is I'm going to get your little, oh good, here's that heart. We're going to use that heart. Even though it's not the same kind of pink, we're still going to use that heart. And we're going to put this there, but we need a little bit of color on it, and that's the great part about having black and white ink, is that you can color it. So I'm just going to give it a little tinge of, I know these colors aren't going to necessarily coordinate. However, it's a technique I'm teaching. What I'm doing is I'm just using the light Flirty Flamingo with my blending brush and whatever was left over on this blending brush, which could have been Melon Mambo. Who knows what was on here? This is kind of like my pink blending brush. And you're just doing that. And then you can take your glue and you put that across like this. So I hope you're learning new techniques for card making and see how I kind of go crazy like this. without any plan, and you just figure it out as you go along. Okay, so this isn't just a die cutting tutorial, it's a card making tutorial as well. You got an extra bonus there. See that extra little pop of color? That helped me because this bothered me that these lines weren't centered, and now it doesn't bother me. Okay, I always do that when I have these little strips. It helps to then turn them over and cut them, I find. There's a little bit of glue on that side. Get the glue off your scissors right away, or you're going to end up gunking them up. And then sometimes I use Goo Gone, right? Goo Gone is a thing to get off your... I think I want to make this one a little darker. I'm trying to get rid of that color, make it match more of my other. Oh yeah. All right, so then I colored my little heart, so you die cut the heart. Let's see if I can't use a big dimensional on this heart. Oh yeah. So let's see where it'll fit. You matter. I'm going to put it in the front of the U. And then, of course, this little foam is kind of sticking out. So put it like that. There. And then I'm going to add a little bit of bling to the card. And there you go. We have a melon mambo. Let's make sure it still opens to the right. Sometimes my cards go up and down in the horizontal. Ooh, I like how it pops. I like melon mambo. Of course, in the process of doing all that, I've gunked up both of my... I'm just going to use glue because both of my little Seal Pluses got discombobulated. And we're going to put that down. And of course I put a white piece in the inside. So there you go. And then a little bit of bling. I'll grab my bucket of Crafty Goodness bling. And we're going to add a little bling to it. So I like to add bling in groups of 3s. Or 1. So sometimes I just add one thing. Get the microphone back on. Sometimes I add one thing. But if I have embellishments, I add 3. So the petal pink's not going to coordinate. These would be cute. Oh, these would be really cute because they're nice and big and bold. These are called opal rounds. Okay, let's do some opal rounds. Oh yeah, opal rounds are the way to go because they're going to look really nice on black. And I'm just going to do like 3 of those. One up here. Okay, see how they look nice on the black? So there you go. That's how I made a card. Didn't know how that was going to look whatsoever. Had zero plan for that card. Zero plan. And it came out really, really nice, I think. Okay, and then this one, let's add some butterflies to that one. These are called the Brush Best butterflies. And my butterflies got used and abused in my shipment. Okay, so, and this isn't going to happen to yours. It's just that my stuff goes through the ringer. Okay, like people are tossing around my Stampin' Up things, I think. Let's do, I'm going to put them up there. I'm going to put one down here. I'm going to put like a small one up there. I'm going to go like that. I mean, a small one above that one. I'm going to put all 3 up there. All right. So there you go. So these are the 2 cards we made, and we used all 5 dies. And here's the other die. We cut out this other die too. So let me clear up my table a little bit. I have 21 more projects to show you. Like as if these weren't enough, right? Thank you. I'm glad you like the Melon Mambo with the black and white, Lorna. And hello, Lorna. I forgot to say hi. So yeah, just what we did is in this die cutting tips and tricks tutorial, you learned lots of tips and tricks, such as we started out by learning how to cut this technique of just stamping an image, right? Stamping an image and cutting it out with the die cut. I also showed you some blending techniques, but the die cutting technique you learned was how to cut out a stamped image. Okay, so we stamped and we die cut out this image with the stamp. Okay, then you learned how to die cut using the adhesive sheets. Okay, so we used the regular adhesive sheets, which are, you get 12 in a pack, 12 sheets, and they are 6 inches by 12 inches. And you get these in almost every kit that I do, like every workshop kit. Like right now I have the Rainbow of Happiness workshop kit going on this month. I'm always including a 6 by 12 piece of adhesive sheet because we use this in all my workshops. Okay, so you learned how to use these adhesive sheets. Then we learned how to use these foam adhesive sheets. Okay, that was another die cutting tip and trick. I also showed you how to color your die cuts and how to use extra pieces of your designer series paper to die cut. How to die cut on designer series paper or cardstock. We die cut onto cardstock, okay? And That's somewhere, wherever we put that piece. That was the piece of Misty Moonlight we die cut. Okay, so there's lots of, here it is, this one we did. Okay, so you learned lots of tips and tricks for die cutting. Now let me keep showing you some other examples, and I will wrap things up. So you can take, oops, okay, here's another example of the New Horizons Designer Series paper. This is just using, you know, just your sticker. The New Horizons paper. Behind it I used the All Together Designer Series paper. This is a piece of soft succulent with a plain background. Just of soft succulent, a plain inside. Okay, I like this U matter because it looks like a storm to me. Like you can get through this, you know, hard time together with the storm. For this one, you saw me do that technique I showed you in this tutorial where I just took some of this Flirty Flamingo. I took a blending brush and I just blended onto this paper. And when I say this paper, I'm still talking about the paper here, the All Together, not the New Horizons. Oh, there's another piece. There's the piece I had earlier. The New Horizons paper, okay? That's the New Horizons paper. I didn't blend onto that. I blended onto the black and white paper. Okay, that's this piece here. This was, and I did a tiny little, less than 1/8 of an inch border around it. Then I did a 1/4 inch border around the whole outside, and I put it on a piece of gray granite. And that's another way to get through it. And then this is a piece of from my Crafty Goodness, the same one that I die cut earlier. So that's that same shape, right? We'll get through this together. That's that same shape, and that was using the Messages die. All right, then I'm just trying to show you the die cutting cards first, the die cut cards first. I have a couple more, and then I want to show you, after that, just other cards I made from the collection. Okay, here's another example. What you can do is you can do the Here for You, and you can take it and you can cut off the word here, and you can just do For You, and then you can emboss the background. This is a piece of Pool Party. There's that heart, and I just embossed it with the gingham embossing folder, okay? And we've done lots on this channel with using embossing folders. So this is the gingham embossing folder. It doesn't look anything like the picture, right? But that's what's in the background of this card. Then you can take the Here for You die that we've been learning how to cut out on this tutorial, and you can just put it onto a piece of Designer Series paper, and then put a piece of real red and with a heart there, a few little garden gems, and you're good to go with a plain background. You don't even need to sponge color that background. All right, so I've shown you all my die cut cards. Now I want to show you the rest of these cards. This is what we colored yesterday. If you missed that, I did some blending on the YouTube channel. Okay, this one is using Lovely You. Instead of using, it's using the paper, the All Together Design Series paper, but I used a stamp set called Lovely You. Here's using the Hive embossing folder, that same die cut. Actually, I did have more die cuts. I forgot about this one. Okay, die cut. Here's the little nail polish I told you about. And this one would be good for the I Promise. Right? Or it doesn't matter. You could say I Promise. That goes with the Pinky Swear better, I think. But you're my person. That's from the Lovely You stamp set. Here's a plain card. I used the blending technique with 2 different color blends on each of these hands. So I used 8 of the new Natural Blends colors. They are on low inventory. That's why I did my video yesterday showing the starter kit. So if you're interested in that, please check out that video on YouTube, because if you like those blends, those natural tone blends, you can get those. Okay, here's another example. Natural Tones blends, and I did a team card for that one. Another team card. I went through these much slower yesterday, so I just don't want to go through there's another piece of Designer Series paper inside. I explained the processes more. Okay, this is when you can just take the little marker and color a few little hearts in the paper, little stamp, a little bit of real red ruffled ribbon, a real red card. All right, here's another die cutting example. Every act of kindness changes the world. I love that. It fits on one of the hearts from the Heart Punch Pack. I used the Cloud Punch for these clouds and just made a little bit of real red and some black and white. So black and white really makes it pop too. Another You're My Person card from the Lovely You stamp set. Another team card. Another sponge color card using Flirty Flamingo, sponge colored. And then lastly, you don't just have to color people and hands with these natural tone blends. You can color the awesome otters. Like here's an awesome otter card where I colored both the background of this black and white designer series paper using Pool Party and 2 of the natural tone blends and the otters themselves. Okay, all using different kinds of blends. Here's my favorite one because it has the wobble springs. Mr. Otter and Mrs. Otter, they're on the wobble springs. So fun. So that card wobbles. This is using Friends of the Forest. I colored these guys with the new natural tone blends. And lastly, my favorite is the 3D project. This is my favorite card, but then this is my favorite because I made this for hubby. I used the natural tone blends for this. So what I have shown you now is the entire Altogether collection. When I say Altogether collection, I'm talking about the 10 new natural tone blends, the Here For You dies, there's 2 more products, hold on. The designer series paper, the Altogether designer series paper, and the stamp set. Okay, so that's what, when I say the collection, I made all of those things with part of that collection, the Here Together. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you'll give some of these die cutting techniques a try and make some cards using your new Altogether collection once you get it. Thank you all for watching. This is the Paper Chef. I appreciate all your comments and your attention today.